big applause for Misbah. Okay, now we'll attention portion Faizo because my friend Sabitri will answer the question. So let's see her.
Okay, so your question is about how we face when we do the test, listening test, when they use British accent.
Yes, and why most listening test to use British accent?
British accent is actually the actual language of English. Like the formal, let's say formal and informal. British is actually the formal way in English language. So that's why in listening test they provide the British accent. And then how you may from what I have in my mind, I think you should familiar with British accent because that you couldn't unface it because it will face you like in every situation of test of English test. They always provide British accent because it's the actual accent of English language. So you may watch British movie, anything, any media that provide British accent. I think that's all for me. Okay, give it back to Mary.
Thank you for your reviews before I throw the answer for the questionnaire. I'm sorry. I do the first for the audience for if you have any thoughts or opinions for yourself.
Okay, my opinion about why most listening versus British accent. For your question, I got from the news that I just read. The British have their standard to their education. So when you want to know about their language, you have to come or just get into their standard because that's the real deal that you have to do when you try to learn about English. And maybe, in my opinion, why always people like talk to an American? Because in my daily experience or my phone, video, anything, I just found the real simple, or maybe that everyone can understand well, like the way they talk, the way they express their expression in language. It's very clear when we use the American accent. Like everyone knows the meaning, what actually when we say like I want to go to the market. Like there's no problem with that. Than the British. Actually, that's the simple way, like the easiest way when you use American. But in this case, you mentioned that we use British test to maybe.
Finding the right method, especially for teaching listening, it can be tricky because not all material here are not engaging or suitable, especially for the students. Also, sometimes the audio it can be too fast or too slow, as you guys already know before on the first semester until now. And what is it? Or it might not match the kind of language learners as the students need to hear. Media may too focus on just for an accent or vocabulary that feels like unfamiliar. And we broke down the three pieces. The first one, as you guys can see on the screen, unclear the audio quality. So unclear the audio quality, it means that the sound listening material it's not easy to hear or it's really hard to understand. And then either because of lower vowel maybe or distortion. So this can make them really tough to catch the word that what's the meaning about, and then they feel like lost in translation maybe, and then they're gonna misunderstanding on miss the details important details. And the second one is mismatch between material is and student skill level, which is this happen when the audio is either too easy or too hard. You know what is the easy one? If it's the audio very simple or easy to hear, it can be boring. All the students maybe get bored, but if on the other hand, if the audio is like hard or tough to catch or we can hear, it might the students feel overwhelmed. And the last is you guys all are still talking about this one because this is very challenging and all of the students will maybe struggle with this case about the very dialect and accent. So this difficult because students are often use one type of language like American or British. So when they come across different accent or they face with a different accents, like we always hear with the American accent, but at some point at the right time when we hear the native speaker using British accent, we get lost. So this one that makes us feel hard to catch what the words or what the native speaker being said about.
Thank you. Give big applause. Very good. Thank you.
There are several problems of learning listening. So you can underline the point is learning because last we're talking about the teaching. Now we take the point of view, especially for the students in listening and learning. And the material is about speed and accent will be presented by my friend Samsudin. Time is yours.
Speakers is often speak too fast for us, so it will making it hard for us to try to understand what is the native speaker trying to say. But actually, it is how the native speaker spoke. So that is not too fast for them, but it's just too fast for us because we are foreign language learners in learning English. So yeah, so the solution for this problem is you need to practice with materials at varying speeds rather than just to faster speed. So when you want to overcome this problem, you need to find the audio that is more slow than the native speaker can speak, and then you try to upgrade it into the faster one. And then the second one is the accent. That is already explained by my friend Sulfikar. So as we know, there are so many accents in this world, like from American, British, Nigerian, and etc. So yeah, the learners maybe we try to. It's hard to find what is the native speaker is trying to say because they have different accent and they have their way how they pronounce their words, and yeah, this will lead the students to misunderstanding. And the solution is you can exposure to the various English accent, improve recognition, and reduce confusion. So you can choose the audio that is you feel that you more like, no matter it is American accent or maybe the British one. I think that's all from me. I give it back to them.
Wonderful. Thank you, Samsudin. And the next material is about lack of vocabulary. It will be explained by my friend. And yeah, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for
provided. Example, a student listening to a new reports about climate change may only understand basic terms like pollution and temperature, and if they encounter words like sustainability or carbon footprint, and that they have learned, they miss crucial parts of the message, leading to a fragment understanding. And learners with a limited vocabulary may take this literary becoming confused instead of understanding its and idioms, expression meaning its raining, having heavily, can hinder their ability to grasp the speaker intent meaning. And the last, difficult processing speech and speed. And spoken language is usually faster than written text, and with limited vocabulary, learners can feel overwhelmed when trying to unconfident. And for example, is during a lecture, the instructor speaks quickly using words like let's take a closer look at the phenomenon. And a learner who doesn't know the words phenomenon might struggle to keep up, causing them to miss out on essential points made earlier in the lecture. This can lead
much obligate for Maria. And then the next material is background noise. Will be explained by my friend Lina. This is the last material. For Lina, time is yours.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon, everyone. So in this question, I will thank you for the opportunity that you have given to me to continue with the material. So my material is about background noise. So as you can see in the PPT, we has been provided the definition of background noise in here. Background noise is one of the main problems in listening and learning because it can disturb students' concentration, reduce understanding of the material, and make it difficult to distinguish important sound from irrelevant background sound. As I believe that the best learning is from experience. As my experience is at the first semester, is it very hard to me to listening well. Listening subject is my mind subject is very difficult to me. But because even though I study English, start from junior high school until senior high school, but my English teacher at the time always teach me about grammar. So that's why my grammar score is always fantastic.
hear enough, and then clearly when we use earphone as a media of our learning listening. So that is the first the way to overcome the problem. And then the second one, some people think that to overcome the problem is we need to avoid them, but they didn't think that the best way to overcome the problem is we need to go in there, we need to raise them and raise them directly and then adapt to the problem. What I mean here, because when we talking with our friends outside our class, we cannot ask for everyone to be silent at the time and then make a noise. So we need to adapt with the situation. And then there was, I really recommend when we learn listening is early morning or after Friday subuh. So this is really fun for me to learning listening. So that's all for me about the material about the noise and then how to overcome this problem. I guess that's all.
Thank you, Lydia. Very good explanation. Okay, now we move on a question and answer section. If you're still wondering about this material, or you guys might feel it still unclear for you, so you guys might raise your hand and tell us what is your question, and then we're gonna provide you some material for class. So if you want something, pause it for a second, please raise your hand and tell us your question. Please, 2 or 3. Okay, for siapa yang jawab?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask you because I'm curious, why most listening tests use British accent? And like Zulka said, that there were some people used to listening American accent, and when they were given British accent, they will get lost. And so, how do we solve that problem when we used to American accent, but in test, listening test, we have to face British accent? So how to overcome that?
Okay, thank you for your question, please. You type in the group chat. The next one, any else? Okay, Miss Parmahan.
Okay, so my question is about speech. So how to overcome when we meet or when we heard someone who has maybe when they talk it's so fast. So that's why sometimes we didn't know what they talk about. So how to overcome, or maybe any tips for us like that. That's all.
Okay, thank you for Miss Parmadani. Okay,
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. About
I can feel it.